Your soul, in its original purity, knows what is right and what is wrong. However, it is constantly besieged by the voices of the external world, which dictate what you should be, what you should have, and what you should think. The fear of judgment, the dread of rejection, the craving for praise, these are the chains that bind you. And each time you sacrifice your truth for an outsider's opinion, each time you seek validation in a glance or a word, you are giving away a piece of your freedom, becoming a slave to the opinions of others. Philosophy, my friends, is the only path to true freedom. Our first step, as always, is that of questioning. What is this approval you so desperately seek? And why is it so vital to you? If approval comes from men who are also fallible, ignorant about what is good and bad, and subject to the same fears as you, can you trust it to guide your lives? Wisdom lies in basing your happiness and self-worth on something more solid, something that cannot be given or taken away by the whims of the world. Self-knowledge is the antidote to the dependence on approval. The maxim, "Know thyself," is not just an adornment, it is the foundation of a virtuous life. When you know who you are, what your values are, and what your weaknesses are, you no longer need others to define you. Your self-worth will no longer be a ship adrift at the mercy of the winds of popular opinion, but an unshakable fortress built on the foundation of your own character. Virtue, and only virtue, is the good that cannot be corrupted or stolen. Wealth, beauty, fame, and approval are transient goods that can be taken from you at any moment. The person who builds their life on them lives in a perpetual state of anxiety, for they fear the loss of what they cannot control. But courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom, these are yours forever, your real and inalienable wealth, the source of your true authority. The search for approval leads you to live a life that is not your own. You wear masks, play roles, say what others want to hear in the hope of being accepted, but this is a life of illusion and deceit. True integrity, the harmony of the soul, can only be achieved when your actions, your words, and your thoughts are in perfect harmony with your inner truth, not with external expectations. Do not allow the fear of ostracism to turn you from the path of virtue. The wise person prefers solitude to bad company, slander to injustice. Your greatest concern should be not to commit evil and not to suffer evil. The opinion of the crowd is a distracting noise, but the voice of your conscience, which seeks the good, is the compass that leads you to serenity. The habit of questioning your motivations is what frees you. Whenever you feel compelled to act in a certain way to please someone, stop and ask, "Am I doing this because it is right, or because I desire the approval of this man or this woman?" The honest answer will show you the truth about your real intention and give you the power to choose freedom. If these words of freedom, which invite you to self-knowledge and self-mastery, are resonating in your soul, I invite you, with the passion of one who seeks the truth, to like this video right now. By liking it, you help bring the light of philosophy to more hearts yearning to be freed from the chains of approval. And so that you may continue to tread the path of self-mastery and wisdom, follow this channel and leave a comment about what this topic means to you. Your participation is the seed of a new garden of freedom. Now let us continue. You must understand that wisdom is not the same as superficial knowledge of many things. Wisdom is the knowledge of good and evil, and the application of that knowledge to practical life. The wise person does not fear the opinions of others, for they know that their happiness does not depend on it. They know that the only thing that matters is virtue, and so they act based on unshakable principles and not on the whims of others. The search for approval is, at its core, a form of ignorance. It is the mistaken belief that your value is determined by something external to you, when in fact your value is intrinsic, a gift of your own rational nature. Socratic humility, the recognition that I know nothing, is the first step toward wisdom. When you free yourselves from the need to appear wise, you open yourselves to learning and true mastery. The master of oneself is one who has power over their passions, over their emotions, and over their thoughts. They are not carried away by anger, envy, or fear. They are like a captain who commands their ship in the midst of a storm, maintaining the course of reason without being shaken by the waves of the external world. This is the true fortress, more secure than any stone wall. Approval is the food of a hungry and insecure ego. It is a vicious cycle. The more you seek it, the emptier you feel without it. To break this cycle, you must change the source of your nourishment. Nourish your soul with truth, with virtue, with the courage to be who you are. The pleasure that comes from approval is brief and illusory, but the peace that comes from self-mastery is lasting and genuine. Remember that your lives are finite. Do not waste your time and energy trying to please everyone. It is an impossible task. And in trying to do so, you are neglecting the only person you can truly control and perfect, yourselves. Focus your attention on your own soul, for that is where your true work resides. The person who seeks the approval of others is like a clay statue that time and rain will wash away. But the person who seeks the approval of their own conscience, who lives a life of virtue, is like a bronze statue, which resists time and the elements, and whose unshakable form serves as an inspiration. Be this bronze statue. The path of self-mastery is solitary, but it is not solitary because there is no company. It is solitary because the responsibility is uniquely yours. No one can do the work for you. No one can give you virtue. No one can give you peace. These are treasures that you must conquer with your own reason and with your own will. Freedom from approval is the freedom to think for yourselves, to question established truths, to be philosophers in your own lives. It is the freedom to say, "I do not know," with humility, and "I believe," with conviction, knowing that your opinion is based on your own investigations. The art of living, which I so strongly advocated, is not the art of having fame, wealth, or approval. It is the art of having a virtuous soul. The happy person is not one who has the most, but one who has the purest and most just soul. And that purification is an internal work, a work that the eyes of others cannot do. The search for approval is a reflection of the fear of your own insufficiency. It is the voice that whispers that you are not good enough, that you need external confirmation. But I tell you that you are, by nature, rational beings, with the capacity to find the truth and to live a worthy life. Your sufficiency resides in your own reason. The true master of oneself does not fear criticism, for they use it as an opportunity for learning. They do not get angry, but question themselves. Is there any truth in this criticism? Can I use this to improve myself? They are not offended, for the opinion of another does not have the power to stain their virtue unless they themselves allow it. The friendship, love, and respect that are true are not based on approval but on virtue. If you are virtuous, you will attract people who will love you for who you truly are, and not for a mask you wear to please. True friendship is a reflection of the good that exists in both souls. The mastery of oneself is the supreme goal of human life. It is the ability to be the sole judge of your own worth, to live with integrity, and to have a clear conscience. This is the only way to achieve serenity, the peace of mind that nothing and no one can take from you. Therefore, my friends, may your search not be to please everyone, but to please your own soul. May your most valuable approval be your own conscience. May your wealth be virtue, and may your freedom be self-mastery. This is the life worthy of being lived. What habit of seeking approval do you feel most compelled to question in your own life? And how can Socratic philosophy be applied to begin your liberation from that habit? Share your thoughts in the comments.